Welcome back to another terrain tutorials video, where today we're building this. An absolutely beautiful, darling, 6x4, that's in feet, gaming board for your wargame miniatures, Mordenheim, Lord of the Rings, and anything else that tickles your fancy. Let's do it! To get the boring stuff out of the way, you need to go shopping and buy some XPS foam board, extruded polystyrene for the less intuitive of the bunch. It comes well packaged, as you can see, and you can use it to make all sorts of shapes, sizes, fixtures and fittings, but make sure you sand it first, like the right-hand side of this photo, to get rid of all the fluffy, nasty bits. You don't want to breathe those in, darling. And you can make this! An exquisite, beautiful, arousing piece of terrain using all but a scalpel, that's a sharp knife, a round piece of tinfoil screwed up into a ball to get all those lovely details, and a pencil. And that's pretty much it, apart from painting it, obviously, which you can do yourself, you lazy bunch of good-for-nothing. But moving forward, planning is key, darling. So as you can see along the bottom of this piece of board, we have two bricks. I have only done straight lines and done individual windows, random doors across this whole piece of board. Now I know what you're thinking. This is a very long wall, and why are there so many doors and windows? Well, we're going to see that in a moment. So after you've done the positioning of the doors and windows, you then fill in the rest of the bricks. And as you can see at the top, we've left a little tiny thin brick, because that's not going to be a brick, it's going to be the top of the wall. Now we're going to do all of the individual widths of the bricks moving downwards. So to make this easier, with a ruler, you're going to do every other brick, so you can go in a straight line to save having to go left, right, left, right, left, right, which will drive you absolutely crazy, darling. So once you've done that, you can do the other ones right in between the gaps until you've done all of the bricks. Nice and simple. Now, the reason we've left those doors and windows in place is because it creates stability during the next process when we're going to do detailing. I found the easiest way for this is to get a piece of wood the size of the brick, but you could use the back of a pencil, a stone, your fist, pretty much anything you can think of, and push that piece of wood, or whatever it may be, into the little bricks to create variation along the wall, which is all going to blend in nicely when we get that tinfoil and beat the living poop out of it. Simply get a rock, wrap some tinfoil around it to create different effects, and voila! You roll this tinfoil across the surface, do a couple of little thrusts and stab the wall to make different variations, effects, detailing, but basically roll it across the entire surface of the brick to create this beautiful effect. Once that's completed, we're going to cut the wall into segments. This is why we made it as one big long wall to begin with, so we didn't have to make them individually, because that would take a lot more time. And when you are cutting it out, make sure you do as I've done here and cut out the individual bricks to create a ruined wall, or be able to make multiple little smaller structures. If you would like to do joining walls, I recommend cutting the brick exactly like this, and voila! We have now connected the wall to create a perfect right angle, adding stability to the build. Once we've done that, we can assemble our pieces, once again using the hot glue, and as you can see, I've added some little dowels where the walls connect, just for a bit of stability for my own peace of mind. Now, when making the floors, you simply get a piece of foam board, do very thin lines with a scalpel or sharp knife, then draw over those lines once again with a pencil to make them a little bit more pronounced, a little bit wider, all ready to be placed on top of the walls which we made earlier. Now, just remember, planning is key. Think about what your next step's going to be, how you're going to achieve it, what you want to do next, where the floor's going to go. I'm going to create a fallen piece of wall, let's do this. And think about how you're going to do things moving forward. Don't just lick and stick and hope it works. That's crazy man talk. And how do we get all these little details on the front of the build? Well, we just use an unknown manufacturer's piece of terrain, press some foam board into it, and voila! We now have the exact same symbol to display on ours, so both pieces of terrain can coexist on the same table with very minor, noticeable differences. And I'm sure while you've been making all of these pieces of terrain, you've got quite a few bags at this point of all of the little spare pieces, just like these, which you should definitely keep and make into these. Small piles of rubble which you can decorate the terrain with and move them around willy-nilly. That's pretty much it for the basics, how to build walls and floors. Brilliant for Dungeons and Dragons, which I absolutely love, and anything else wargamey. Now, next time I'm going to do a few very short videos for you all. One will show you how to build a staircase, one will show you how to build a guard tower, and the other a Lord Noble house, the centerpiece to any glorious terrain gaming board. But this one has been struck by a filthy orc catapult, destroying my noble house, and I will have my revenge in the form of blood. But till next time, thank you for watching. It has been my honor and my pleasure to serve you. Goodbye.